Man, am I tired. But we about to get this poppin', baby. We gonna talk some ish. But you're not gonna get this energy. Because I'm tired. But you're gonna learn something, so I want you to listen. Alright? So you get. What's up? What's up, champs? How you feeling today, champs? I want to talk about why your diet's probably not working. Now, I don't want to get too in depth into it, but I do want to speak about why your diet's probably not working. Now, it depends on the goals, depends on who you are, depends on your body type, depends on your daily routine, right? So we have to keep cautious about our lifestyle just to benefit the most out of how we decide to diet. Now, we have some people who get on low carb diets. They do well for most. And then you stop and then you gain double the weight. It's cool, but it doesn't last that long. It has to be a lifestyle. It has to be something that you do on the norm, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, every year. See what I'm saying? So, carbohydrates, when people take carbs out of their diet, I mean, it's good in a sense if you're trying to get ripped or whatnot, but you still need diet. You still need carbs in your body. So, for instance, one of the best times to eat carbohydrates is in the morning. If you're looking for muscle building or anytime you're doing weight training, the best time to get your carbohydrates is right after that workout. You have that little bit of 4 to 5 minute window, so you can consume as much protein and carbohydrate. Well, you don't want to carb overload now, but a certain amount is going to help the protein get into the bloodstream. See what I'm saying? Another time carbs will be good is if you're doing some weightlifting again, anywhere from an hour, hour and a half before your weightlifting session. I don't recommend the same thing for cardiovascular. Usually, when you're doing, let's say if it's a cardiovascular day or something like that, you should still get some carbs. But if you're not doing fasted cardio, of course, then the carbs are not as necessary as they are when you are weightlifting, because you need that for energy. So carbs, basically what you get from the carbohydrates is the energy. You see what I'm saying? What we mostly need from food is the nutrition, the nutrients, the vitamins. That's what we like to get from there. That's why people recommend healthy diets, like, eating your vegetables, eating your fruits, eating whole foods, staying away from processed foods. Like, a lot of times things that have labels are processed foods. Another thing is learning how to read a label, which I will do a complete different video for that, showing you guys how to read a label, because it's really important to know how to read a food label when you're making food or whatnot. How many servings you're actually serving yourself, what you should be looking for when you're purchasing certain things in the supermarket. Those things are important. Now, I feel like most people, when they say they're on a healthy diet, yeah, I eat healthy, they may not be structuring in a certain way throughout the day. Like, if you're eating carbohydrates at night, but you're eating something healthy, I ate sweet potatoes last night though, and then you go to bed an hour later, what you're doing is storing those carbs as fat. You see what I'm saying? So you want to try not to do that. You want to use certain foods for certain times of the day. Like I said, before your weightlifting session or after your weightlifting session. I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to get toned up. You either want to put on muscle or you want to tone up, right? So your workout has to be placed in a certain day. If you're going to work out twice a day, which I would always recommend, works like a charm. When I'm trying to get shredded and pump up to look like, 2 a day, all day, every day. So I'll knock it out. I'll do the cardiovascular in the morning for the most part sometimes, or I'll do my weightlifting around 4 o'clock or something like that. You know what I mean? I like to consume a certain amount of meals throughout the day. So when it's time for me to go lift some weights, I knock it out the park. See what I'm saying? So depending on who you are, let's say you're someone who's trying to lose weight. Let's say you're 230 pounds or something, and you want to drop some weight. What kind of regimen would I recommend for you? For the most part, I still need some more information, but let's say your average Joe. I would absolutely recommend fasted cardio in the morning. HIIT training. I'm talking about intense. Watch how many calories you burn. But of course, if you're just beginning, don't go haul ass at the very beginning. You got to gradually build up to that. A lot of times with my clients, what I do, I write out the programs and I write out a certain cardiovascular routine for the first week. And then the second week, I'll do something else, switch it up. And the third week, and then it gets a little intense. You don't want to do the same thing over and over again, because it's like the first time you do a certain cardio regimen, you're probably going to burn the most on that first time. You may not burn the same on the second time. You may burn the same third time. Next week, it starts coming down because your body adjusts. It gets used to what's going on. So we want to do what's called muscle confusion. That's why, again, with clients that I have over here at the Fit Frame, what I do is I create these 4 to 6 week programs, and I change. The workouts are pretty much like similar throughout the program, like 4 weeks especially, and then it tends to change a little bit more after that, making sure that you're still able to do these exercises. I don't want to just make you jump on something completely different that you've never done before, because then it just defeats the purpose of exercising in a proper way. You have to get used to something, and then your body adapts. Okay, let's switch it up a little bit. Let's add a little something different now. So you definitely want to change things, change different regimens. It works very well for your body. Cardiovascular, I would get knocked out in the morning, and then I would do the weightlifting either at night or sometime during the middle of the day. You want to get some food into your system. Now, the carbs. If you're someone who's going to be eating carbs, depending on how many times a week you're working out, if you're doing this on a daily basis, if you're weightlifting on a daily basis, then you absolutely need those carbs before your workout for energy. I wouldn't recommend pre-workout. I mean, you can have some pre-workout if you really, really feel like you need it. I would recommend black coffee because this also helps with fat loss. But I would definitely do the carbs before the weightlifting, and I would do the carbs right after the weightlifting. And when I'm talking about carbs, I'm talking about sweet potatoes. I'm talking about possibly red potatoes, whole foods, things that are grown from the earth. I would definitely have my greens on every single meal. You want your fibers, your protein in every single meal. I'm talking about breakfast. I'm talking about lunch, dinner. Maybe you add something else in there. You want a protein shake, get yourself a protein shake, a healthy one. I personally like Optimal Nutrition, but there's different versions around, and people have different sayings, different opinions, should I say, about certain proteins. But I would definitely focus on getting more whey protein because it comes from natural resources. So I'm just talking about the average Joe trying to lose weight, like a lot of weight. Someone who's trying to lose about, say, 20, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, whatever the case may be. That's the way you want to do it. You want to switch your routine around. Don't stick to the same routine. So you got to educate yourself, learn a little bit more about exercises. Just because you're watching a bodybuilder do something doesn't mean that's going to work for you the way it works for him. You see what I'm saying? His body may be different from yours. Back to the body types. He may have been an ectomorph. He may have been a mesomorph. Now, this advice I'm giving right now is mainly for the endomorph, trying to drop that weight. So, what he's doing, I'm not saying it won't work, but if you're trying to lose that weight, right, fast, let's say you got the tire thing going on, you want to drop that down, then yeah, absolutely in the morning you'll knock that out. You know what I mean? It all depends on what your actual goal is. Sometimes you got to break it down in phases, which is what the Fit Frame does. The Fit Frame phases. We do everything in phases, but say you're someone who's not part of the Fit Frame, you're just watching this for now. I'm gonna break it down in phases. So, can you lose weight and gain muscle at the same time? Absolutely, you definitely can. Definitely a lot more challenging. Definitely a lot of focus on the meal prepping that you're doing and the regimen that you're on. But it's definitely possible. Let's say you're losing the weight, but you're still trying to tone up, still doing a little bit of muscle building, and you're not looking to do this, look like this bodybuilder or whatnot. You just want to look good. You want to look good. You want to feel good. You want to drop that weight. Then absolutely, I would do it in the morning. I would knock that out. I would probably stick to the same sort of cardio routine for a month, anywhere from 4 to 5 weeks, and then I'll change it up again. I'll change it up to something new. Same thing with the workout program. I personally, I get bored really quickly, so I have to do different things all the time, or I'll just kind of like, see what I'm saying? So I have to do different workouts. I have to challenge myself constantly. I would advise you to do the same thing. Definitely those are some key points. Now, something I like to call the Fit Trio. The Fit Trio is basically cardio, diet, and weightlifting or resistance training. So I like, it's like a triangle effect. And the top one would always be the diet because it's about 70%. Some people say 75, some people say 80. I like to first say 70. Then you got your cardiovascular at the bottom and then your weightlifting. Just because you're trying to lose weight does not mean that you should not do any weightlifting. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to lose a ton of weight and you're going to have excess fat. I'm sorry, not excess fat, excess skin. Right, excessive skin, whatever, you know what I mean. So to avoid that, in order to avoid that, you want to definitely do some weight training. Your diet has to be important. Your body needs those nutrients. And what happens, the reason that happens is when you lose a ton of weight, it's like it's elastic. Your skin is elastic, so it grows with you. When the muscles grow, you start getting stretch marks because it pumps up and then it comes back down. Usually how it works. It rips, the muscles rip, and they come back together, right? That's where the stretch marks come from. But with the excess skin, or excessive skin, right? Excessive, I think that's the word I'm looking for, excessive. You lose the weight rapidly. So the skin doesn't move as fast as the way you lost the weight. You see what I'm saying? You kind of beat it to the punch, and then you have that excessive skin. But it depends on the person. Not everybody goes through that. It depends on the person. Everyone is different. Everyone has different skin texture. Same thing like with hair. Everyone's different. So my advice is to always do the Fit Trio. Focus on that diet. Has to be 70% of it, but you got to go 100% on that. Focus on that cardiovascular and focus on that weight training session, or the weight training regimen, should I say. But that's the best advice I can give you guys as far as, it's a rule across the board, that Fit Trio. But for those who are endomorphs and trying to lose that weight and think that you should just focus on doing cardio and then do the weight training, no, do everything together. You remember me, you appreciate me. Champs, stay fit for life. It's the Fit Frame. Like, share, subscribe, comment, do all that sexy stuff, dance around, tell your people, tell your mama, tell your kids. How your kids? How's your wife? You know the daily. It's Crown C, Crown Cobain, baby. Welcome to the Fit Frame.